All right, guys, back with another video. This is Chuck, Northside Guy. On this video, we're going to look at three more Hall of Famers appearing in the 1933 Goudey set. First one up is Charlie Gehringer, known as the Mechanical Man. Played for the Detroit Tigers for 19 seasons, from 1924 to 1942. He was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1949. Lifetime batting average, 320. And he had 2,839 hits. He was the American League batting champion in the 1937 season with a 371 average, and was also named the MVP that season. And he was in the top 10 vote recipients for MVP for 7 straight years, 1932 to 1938. He was the starting second baseman and played every inning of the first 6 All-Star games. So why was he called the Mechanical Man? Well, once again, Lefty Gomez quipped, you wind him up on opening day and forget him. Beautiful picture here. Gehringer was spotted by Ty Cobb, who was so impressed with Gehringer that he asked Tigers club owner Frank Navin to sign him to a contract right on the spot. Said Cobb, "I knew Charlie would hit, and I was so anxious to sign him that I didn't even take the time to change out of my uniform before rushing him into the front office to sign a contract." Gehringer, who was orphaned, lost his father at a young age, said that Cobb was like a father to him. And Cobb, even in Gehringer's first season, made Gehringer use his bat. Later, they had a falling out, and Gehringer described Cobb as a real hateful guy. About his peace and quiet, that seems to be his most notable characteristic. And in other videos I've done, we've talked about players who had eccentricities, whether it was gambling or drinking or just being mean. Player manager Mickey Cochran joked that Charlie says hello on opening day and goodbye on closing day and hits 350 in between. Gehringer was a family man. He lived with his mother throughout most of his baseball career, later marrying after. His mother was very ill, and he felt obliged to stay home and take care of her. Beautiful card here. In 1936, he had 641 at-bats and struck out only 13 times. Very solid, consistent hitter throughout his career. He and Billy Rogel, who another player I'm going to show in this 1933 Goudey series, who played shortstop, they were the double play partnership for the Tigers and had the longest tenure of double play combinations in the history of the game until Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell broke their record and now hold the record for 1,918 games played as a double play combo. After he retired from baseball, Gehringer went into the business of selling fabrics to the automobile industry. And in spite of having a chance to be the Tigers GM in the 50s, he really preferred to be selling fabric to automobile companies. His number is retired by the Tigers along as number 2. And that number was retired alongside Hank Greenberg's number 5 in 1983. All right, so that's the first one up. Next up is Chicago Cubs, Billy Herman, presented here in a PSA 6. Billy Herman is a Hall of Famer, known for his stellar defense in the 1930s and 40s. He has a lot of defensive records as a second baseman. 304 lifetime batting average, 2,345 hits as a Cub, 10-time All-Star. He shares the record, Major League record for most hits on opening day with 5 in 1936. So here's a very colorful and beautiful card of Billy Herman. Nice, clean background. Third up is Archie Vaughn, presented here in a PSA 6. I'm just going to tilt it back a little, less glare. Take a look at it here. Let's talk a little bit about Archie Vaughn. Archie Vaughn is another Hall of Famer. Lifetime batting average of .318, played between 1932 and 1948 for the Pirates, and finished out with the Dodgers. 9-time All-Star, batting champion in 1935. Considered by many one of the greatest, best-hitting shortstops in the game ever. Overshadowed in Pittsburgh, where he played, to another famous shortstop there named Honus Wagner. In their 1981 book, Lawrence Ritter and Donald Honig, in their book, The 100 Greatest Baseball Players of All Time, they put Archie Vaughn in there. Later in life, in a fluke passing, Vaughn was fishing on a lake at a ranch he owned in California, and his friend Bill Weimer stood up, capsized the boat, and both men drowned. He was 40 years old at the end of the day. Another interesting story, when Vaughn was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1985, his daughter received a handwritten congratulatory letter, and the letter read, "I was a substitute tackle on the Fullerton High School Championship 130-pound team, and remember Archie as our star halfback, fast, hard-nosed, and even then a real professional. Sincerely, Richard Nixon." So colorful, if short, and life. 3 more Hall of Famers in the Goudey set for you to look at. I hope you enjoy different colors. By the way, I don't see many orange background pictures in some of these Goudeys here. So let's take just another look at that. Archie Vaughn. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. More to come. Stay tuned.